the Talktopia Sessions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Talktopia Sessions. Today, we have a very special guest, and I say that every time, but today is extra special because he is my uncle, AJ.
Hi, man.
Hi, man. How are you doing?
All good.
So, unfortunately, we haven't been in touch for most of my adult life. I did come to your studio many, many years ago.
Yeah, you did.
But that's very unfortunate. That will change now. Now that you've come over here, checked out the studio, met your longtime protege, Ashish Ddavidd.
Well, I better send him a bill then.
Or shall we say Padawan?
Yeah, this is special for him because it's his uncle, literally. And like for me, he's like an uncle because the first song that I ever recorded in a studio with a band, which happens to be Them Clones, was Sir AJ, and he recorded some of my first.
Please, let's get rid of Sir. I'll tell you why. One of my friends told we were talking somewhere and somebody called him Sir. And he said, I thought that was the most sensible thing I ever heard anybody say. He said, dude, Sir left India in 1947, okay?
Very nice.
So
Naughty,
AJ,
naughty.
not Sir, AJ recorded, some of my first songs. I understood sensibilities of, how people record stuff in a band, in a studio from him. We've seen him in so many Friends of Music gigs back in the day, so many different gigs at different places in Delhi, which used to be cool and happening at that time.
Yeah.
He also played with Lou Majao.
Still do.
He's
After
still
45
does.
years, still.
Absolutely. He's a guitar player. He's a music entrepreneur. I don't know if that's a good term.
No. I'm not an
An
entrepreneur of
engineer?
any. You
An
can call me
engineer,
some
music
kind of
producer?
self-taught engineer.
And still gigging at 60 plus.
66.
66. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. AJ, aka Arjun Sen. Shor machao, ladko, shor machao. Our
Thanks,
one
man.
studio audience.
Thanks. And
Our
that's
audience of one.
Yes.
all I need.
That's all you need. That's exactly. As a musician, as long as one person is listening to you,
That's it.
nothing else matters. But anyway, so I have basically missed out on a lot of your life, and we should have.
We all
Honestly,
have
we've been hanging.
missed out
We
on
should
a
have been
lot of
hanging out
it.
for a very long time.
We should have.
But like,
Whatever.
how did your journey in music start?
From the
Like,
very beginning, in the beginning of the beginning.
You see, I was very fortunate growing up because the house had a house, meaning with my parents and my brother. I was younger, right? My brother always had first dibs at the record player. He's not a bad musician himself, though he's never done it professionally. He writes great songs. He's the first guy I saw playing a guitar and bending and trilling a note at the same time. Nobody was doing that at that time. People were playing very straight notes and stuff. Anyway, that's another story. But the house had all kinds of music, and all kinds of music was played all the time. By all kinds, what do I mean? There'd be Rabindra Sangeet, of course. There'd be a lot of very top-class Indian classical. There'd be a lot of top-class Western classical. Then we got all these jazz records, which we didn't know anything about. I mean, I didn't even know what jazz meant or what rock. There was all these terms didn't really enter the consciousness in that sense. Rock and roll we understood because it was. And then you had all this, what was popular at that time, whether it was Beatles, Elvis, Rolling Stones, this, that, whatnot, all that stuff was there. Dave Clark 5, this, that, whatnot. But what I remember, we'd seamlessly go from one thing to the other. It wasn't that we were just listening to the Beatles and nothing else. You would put on Hard Day's Night, and next moment you'd put on the John Coltrane album because it was nice. We never thought about it as being complex jazz or this or something like that. So somewhere along the way, all that stuff went in. Thinking that from there, that's how I know what to do when I have to approach making music.
Indeed.
With what little I know. I mean, I'm not saying that I know anything at all, but I think that's where a lot of the learning comes from. Because there's been no formal learning. At that time, there would be nobody who could teach you. And if there was somebody who could teach you, it would be an extremely boring person who would crack your knuckles with a ruler if you didn't play piano properly. And that really wasn't the way to teach anybody anything. So,
And
yeah.
Vikram, by chance, that's my brother.
Yeah.
He really wanted to learn how to play the guitar when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
And he was taken to, I think, the Aurobindo school or whatever, something of that sort. And he was being taught and he was being taught like classical Indian kind of guitar.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was like, why would a rock kid?
Yeah.
I mean, how long can he sustain that? He did sustain it for quite a while, but then he got frustrated and chucked
I
his
can
guitar.
imagine. He should have
I've
come
been
to his uncle.
self-taught. I don't know anything, but I'm still having fun with it. So
Yeah, but I heard your band this morning. I was fucking knocked out, man. Both you guys here.
thank you.
Fabulous.
so
Very
much.
much.
I want to ask a question. Were you listening to music on radio or like tapes or was it
No,
vinyl?
you see,
What
the
was
thing
the...
is, we had another trump card. My dad's uncle at that time was the boss of Dum Dum. All the recordings were done in HMP,
Oh,
his master's voice. So all the records that came from outside went to Dum Dum, and then they were released in India. I'm talking about, all your international stuff. So a lot of stuff that wasn't released came to us.
oh.
So we'd get a lot of records which had that label, sample record, not for sale.
Nice. Well,
So yeah, and
that's something special.
yeah. So we got a lot of records that never were in the market actually.
So vinyl basically.
Vinyl, yeah, records. So
Nice.
so there'd be a lot of that at home. Then there'd be radio was Radio Ceylon as it was called then, not Sri Lanka. Radio Ceylon, they had the Binaka something in the morning.
Binaka hit
Hit
Mala or
parade,
something.
hit parade. Geetmala was the Hindi stuff,
Right.
And Binaka hit parade, which was very good, and you heard some stuff that you wouldn't hear otherwise.
Do you remember any favorite radio jockey or something of yours?
No, there were no radio jockeys. There were these guys who'd come and announce the songs,
Right.
and then Shillong Radio or All India Radio at that time they would have a thing called listeners' request program or something. Usually the list of names before the request is longer than the bloody song. This song goes out to blah, 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 blah,
Chinto,
blah,
Pinto,
blah.
Tino,
To this,
Mino,
this.
or
Yeah, so
unke
that was in the
mummy, papa.
evening. Mostly they were half-an-hour programs. So that's why we would listen to a lot of stuff. Then once in a while, if you could tune your radio to VOA, you'd get Willis Conover on the Jazz Hour, which was fantastic because he really knowledgeable. Then in later years, when we were slightly in the dope smoking age,
The 70s.
70s, and stuff started happening.
Oh, yeah.
Different music started changing and stuff like that. And then every bunch of guys would have one guy who was really good with tuning into Radio Luxembourg,
Wow.
which is Radio Free Rock.
Nice.
And you'd hear all the stuff that you never heard.
And where was this?
This is Shillong,
How
Big
did
Boy,
you get all these? This
Shortwave.
shortwave radio.
Wow, man. That
SW1,
that travels a
SW2.
long way.
Also,
Yeah.
like shortwave is like very difficult to like catch that frequency.
Yeah. So
It's
you needed that
really,
guy.
like,
You needed that guy with a very steady hand.
Steady hand.
Yeah.
Nice.
And dogged. Because
Yes,
within no
indeed.
time it would be jammed by some Chinese signal and some Russian signal. I don't know what they had against anything. But a lot of times, suddenly you'd hear all these sounds. And but that's how we listened. And later on, I'll just finish the listening part so that we
Yes,
complete that and get
absolutely.
rid of it. And
Yeah.
then after that, then came tapes, right?
Yeah.
Tapes came into our lives around, what would be 78,
Mhm.
78. I mean, people started getting cassette recorders. Before that, people had spool recorders, but you wouldn't get spools.
Those.
That's
Grundig
massive.
spools.
Okay, it would be a
spool
They still
recorders.
have in
Yeah.
All India Radio.
Oh, absolutely. It's still sitting
2-track stereo. Yeah. The cassette records, the flatbeds started coming in,
Mhm.
People started, some people had them, not everybody. And that's when it became interesting because my brother and I could sit down and actually record a song
Yeah, that's a big deal.
and listen to what we sounded like, which was bloody fantastic. And we did quite a few quite interesting recordings actually at that time. But now with cassettes coming in, but it's not that suddenly you had everything that you wanted to listen to. So you'd get one tape from this guy, you'd listen to it. Somebody gave us, say, Venusian Summers by,
Yeah.
what's his name now? He used to play with Chicoria, drummer. Lenny White. And that's, then somebody gave us Yes. Somebody got, in the meanwhile, my brother's in Delhi at SPA.
Mhm.
Now, SPA had quite a good bunch of foreign students at that time. from various places.
School of Planning and Architecture.
Yeah,
right?
School of Planning and Architecture. And other guys in Delhi who had really great records, which he would borrow from them, bring home. So over the summer, I could listen to them also. That's where I heard Jeff Beck, this, that, whatnot. All that. So my whole world turned around 75, 76.
Wow.
When the first new thing that totally blasted me off the planet of this planet was Rory Gallagher. When I heard Sinner and Saint, I said, what is this? This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And next thing, we found this B.B. King album. Ronajoy, my brother, got it. I didn't know whether at that time whether B.B. King was a man, woman, or what. Seriously, I'm not kidding.
Wife.
The only
BB King.
only
Hamari
place
BB to hamari
I'd
king
come across the name B.B. King at that time was that Beatles song, like a rolling stone, like something like B.B. King, like Doris Day, So I'm like, who that? Anyway, when that album played, I was, this is it, man. And I swear to this day, and I've told several people over the years, when I heard that what he was doing with the guitar and the ambience it created, I could smell sweat and earth. I've never forgotten that. And for years, I still, when I sit around farting out with the guitar, I still play those tracks. They've never gone from me, or Rory Gallagher or whatever. Then the next big event for me was Roy Buchanan. When I heard Snake Stretchers, Roy Buchanan and the Snake Stretchers. I said, man, this guy, he can do things with the guitar I've never imagined. And then I heard Jeff Beck, and then my life was complete after that. After Jeff Beck, if I go down the list of guitar players that I love, it's like lots. But these are the main architects, if you want to call it. Before that, of course, there was the Shads, Hank Marvin and George Harrison. George Harrison, to me, he's one of the most incredible players. You think about it, You know the song Something?
Something in the name. She moves.
Listen to it sometime, right? When you listen to it, listen to the solo. When you listen to the solo, you'll realize he plays the solo over the same chords as the rest of the song. But the way he plays the solo, you don't hear the chords anymore. It feels like it actually has gone somewhere. And there are very few people who can do that with a song.
Wow.
For a long time, what I hear is a chord comes and somebody plays a note. Another chord comes, somebody plays. So you're actually replying to a chord. You're not playing a melody that is
Part of
overriding everything. Part of the structure, but different from the structure. So if you have lyrics, that means that is your way of actually talking. And that is, to me, the attractive part of guitar playing, where it is part of something, not just something on its own. Because a lot of times I'll hear technical mastery is fine, but keep it at home, if you know what I mean. I don't want to hear you doing scales on stage. Do it at home. Come and play me a melody. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I've for most of my life, I have never liked, the rock and metal, the mainstay lead guitarists where they just go into the and some of them are fantastic. They're wonderful. But then
a lot of them are technically absolutely
fantastic.
Marvelous. But the thing is, where's the music?
Exactly. So, for example, when it came to David Gilmour, that's when
he's an example I use with a lot of guys,
Like,
if I meet a younger guitar player today, I'll say, there's one guy you'll never come close to. Even though you have 10 times more chops than him.
Yeah.
You say, who? David Gilmour. Most guys have more chops than he'll ever have in his life. He's already...
The emotion he expresses.
But he creates a piece of music which is different from playing scales and, all the techniques that you've learned. So, say from both Roy Buchanan and Jeff Beck, I learned one thing, which is that the guitar in itself is a marvelous piece of... electric guitar I'm talking about, is a marvelous bit of design. And you can do things with it as far as your, imagination will take you. Yeah. And not only that, you can use all the negatives in it musically. Whether it is the sounds that you get, this, that, whatnot. There's so many things you can do with an electric guitar, which which is so expressive. So to me, it is probably the most expressive instrument on the planet when used properly.
I couldn't agree more.
To me, the only other thing that can emotionally beat an electric guitar is a cello.
Ooh.
When the cello starts playing,
I guess
cello
that
in
range,
good
those
hands,
frequencies.
those
Oh,
frequencies, yeah.
Yes.
Not a violin, a cello.
That really resonates in the human body. It's like, it's amazing. So, which brings us to your first song that you are performing for us. Which one is it? And tell us a little bit about it.
Causes.
Causes.
That's
And-
a very funny story. Years ago, I was sitting at home, and I don't know why they came to me because I was never known for anything. He said, will you perform for us tomorrow? And I never was the performing type, if you know what I mean. I played with a band or I'd play with somebody, I'd play guitar. And we're having this thing tomorrow called Nagasaki Day. This was back in the 90s. I said, what? I'd say it's easily 97 or 98. Nagasaki Day. And we are having a little thing in Max Muller Bhavan. So I said, that sounds pretty posh. Let me go and have a look what's going on over there. So then they didn't ask me to. So I said, let me just write a song for this. So overnight I sat down and so they call themselves Voices of Concern. Right? So I said, who are these people? I mean, what the hell do you mean? Voices of Concern. For what? For Nagasaki Day, which is already gone then. Yeah, I'm not detracting from the fact that it was a horrible experience for
of course,
whatever happened.
Yeah.
All that we all know, that's all taken.
Right.
But if you have to have a cause, do something about what's going on over here, Why have a Nagasaki Day in Delhi in 1997 for what? So I wrote Causes. So the lyrics are a bit like, causes seldom change, those that they were meant to emancipate. Causes throw up heroes. They're in your history books and the cause remains unchanged. That's the opening lines. Anyway, now this is actually a direct dig at these guys.
Yeah.
Right? They obviously never listened to the song when I sang it. I had my friend Roshni Jayakrishan, who's to me one of the most fabulous singers I've ever come across in my life. I asked her to please sing it. I said, I'll play guitar with you, you sing it. I wrote the song and we practiced it at home a couple of times, went down the way, sang it. Why were they happy? Because of the last line, which said, Voices of Concern speak as fires burn, but they speak too late. They were just happy with the fact that I put their organization's name in the...
They were more concerned
exactly.
with the name.
Thank you for... Bloody hell, it all fucking went opposite of what I thought it would go.
That is the best kind of dig. Really, that's the best kind of dig where the person thanks you for it at the end of it.
So the guy comes and says, when did you write this song? Yesterday. I said, yeah, I wrote it yesterday. I mean, it was a bit of disbelief. But yeah, when songs come, they just come like that. The whole thing comes.
Yeah.
I mean, at least that's been my experience. The whole arrangement, everything comes. I don't have to worry about it. And if you listen to the song, there's no snare in it. That's because I didn't know what to do with the snare in that song. So I just kept it kick and cymbal.
Sometimes that's all it's needed.
And that's all it was needed.
Wonderful. All right, guys, let's check out Causes. We'll be right back.
Causes seldom change, those that they were meant to emancipate. Causes throw up heroes, they're in your history books, but the cause remain unchanged. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Somewhere once an apple dropped, and it went and fell on someone's head. Those that followed in that path, all they came and did was drop a bomb instead. What are we going to do? catastrophes that come, some from nature and then some from man. I think you will agree that nature at its worst is none but man himself. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Voices of concern speak as fire is gone, but they speak too late.
That was a fantastic performance. Thank you so much. And we did catch that last bit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And so, talking about your music and the guitar especially, can you tell us a little bit more about your guitar? What is this?
The Stratocaster is something I was fascinated with from a very early age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the Shads had one. I mean, Hank Marvin played a Stratocaster. And then later, whatever pictures later, I saw concert for Bangladesh. George Harrison had a white Stratocaster, and I wanted something like that.
We had one of those LPs at home, and I've grown up listening to those LPs. What a phenomenal
So then I saw the cover of the Rory Gallagher album. He had a Stratocaster. Jeff Beck, Wired, he has a white Stratocaster over there. I'm like, man, this is it. I got to get a Strat. So, of course, it took about 18 years before I got this. 18 years since the time I first lusted after it. So at that time, I had already joined Majao's band. We started the band together, actually, Great Society in Shillong. So this would be around 80, 81. I used to go to the library, which had a very nice, the guitar handbook. And
I used that. That's what I learned my first.
But another version of it, it was a thick one, and it had all about everything, about all the guitars that had been manufactured till that time. So I studied everything about it. I knew everything there was to know about Strats at that time, except I'd never played one, right? I have seen one. Oh, there was one. One Strat came into Assam in the 60s, a guy called Utpal Borsoikia. Fantastic. First time I've seen anybody play Hendrix in front of me and all that stuff.
Oh, nice.
And my cousin was singing with him. I was a little chont. This would be around 67, 68. He had just come back from England. He had this Carlsbro amp and a Strat. Unbelievable. And he was a fantastic player. So anyway, that aside, I understood the whole mechanism, electronics of the Strat. I knew it had, the original, it had 8,400 coils, 44 gauge, and then later they changed it to 7,600 for a cleaner sound or whatever. So anyway, so all that stuff happened. And then I was in Delhi and the A. Godin and Co. was that music shop.
Connaught Place.
Mm-hmm. So that time
AC Godin, yeah.
Yeah, AA. I think it is AA Godin.
AC Godin?
Oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So I saw this Strat hanging over the second-hand Strat for sale. And the time the hippies would come by and, sell whatever they had and carry on.
Yeah.
1,500 rupees.
No.
But then 1,500 rupees was that time top-level executive salary.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
right. I'm talking about 71, 72, or 73 like that.
Is this that old?
No, this is not that. I never got it, man.
Okay.
Where would I get the money for that? So time goes on, then I joined the band, and then years later, so 18 years later, by the time I've had my studio, I still had my studio at that time, and then Majao and I were playing together. Then there's this friend of ours who's now passed away. He's from one of those top tea families in Assam. His name Omid Barua. He had the most amazing guitar collection in India you'd ever see. As he would quip, he had the map of America shaped Les Paul, which was made for one of their, biennial or something like that, whatever shit they have over there. Anyway, he said only 9 were made. He says, this is the 8th one. And usually people would ask him who bought the 9th one. He said, and he'd say, Bill Clinton. So that's the kind of this thing. So he had this amazing thing. So I told him, hey man, if you see a Jeff Beck Strat anyway, because Jeff Beck had just the first
Signature series
had come out. So then he calls me up. He says, "There's one in Singapore for sale and one in London. The one in Singapore, I don't think it'd be, it's purple. But I'll try and get you the one that's lying in London." So this had already been used for a year. So I got it in 2000. So now it's 25 years old.
Wow.
And I played it for 25 years. And it is from the 1999, this is the first round. So this is the one which is supremely heavy.
Yeah, it is pretty heavy.
It's very heavy. It's got a fat neck.
Yeah.
It's got all the things that most people won't like about a guitar. It's pretty noisy. But the thing is, once you understand how to use it, it's so marvelous to play because it just sits on me like a piano would, It doesn't move around.
Is that also why the huge strap?
Yeah.
That's why, because it's heavy. Yeah.
And I mean, it's awesome. I'm still learning how to play it properly, but it's working a bit.
25 years onwards.
Yeah.
Still learning
It's
how to play
never, there's never end to that, Every day, just yesterday, I realized I could do something which I hadn't done before. So every time it's something like that, Every time it's something like that.
And did you choose the color?
No, it came as it came. It came as it came, yeah.
The color chose him.
Aha!
Yeah. This was what they call seafoam green. I want to see that sea.
Yeah,
It's
that's
amazing. Till the point when I actually had come to the studio to record those two songs with them clones. And you had given me a CD of yours which had your original music on it. Most of the Indian bands that I had heard were, to my ears, and even at that time, sounded like, they were a collection of people just trying to highlight their playing, irrespective of the fact that it's in a structure or a form of a song. So and when I heard your songs, they sounded like complete songs. Like every song had an identity which was very clear. It was not like people fighting amongst,
Yeah, because I probably did it alone. That's
True that too.
the only person I'd have to fight with is myself.
But like for a lot of younger bands and musicians, I think it's unfortunately this phase that all of them go through without knowing. The keyboard player will be twiddling his thumbs all over the place. The guitarist will be, playing unnecessary solos.
I don't know, I don't know where this comes from because even when I joined as a newbie, somebody who had never played, and I was so surprised when Lou Majao asked me to play guitar with him. He said, "You should play guitar." I wanted to be a bass player. No? I started off playing bass. So up till now, most of my songs have relatively good bass lines because my heart has always been in the bass side of things. Because once you have a good bass structure, once your structure has a good bass line, the rest of the song it just falls into place nicely.
The problems are solved. Major problems are solved.
It's when you don't know what to do with your bottom end that, you don't know where to sit. Actually,
goes to a lot of other aspects of life.
Yeah, pretty much.
What to do with your bottom end.
So the rest of it is, a lot of it is, some of it is cladding, some of it is partial structure, some of it is the real song, the message you want to get across. So where does the guitar come into that? Guitar comes into that maybe as a rhythm instrument and what we like to call lead guitar, which is, some lines, some guitar lines. So, you make a riff. If the riff is good and it works, then you don't have to change it ever. And if it's a really solid riff, if it comes to you, then you're fortunate.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So how do you balance it all? Like, for example...
So, I think it balances itself. Because what I was coming to is, even when I joined Majao, what would happen was, we'd never talk, He'd never say, "Hey dude, I wrote this new song, these are the chords, huh? Let's go and play." No, it was, he'd just sit over there, start singing. I'd listen to what he's singing, pick up another guitar, whatever. There used to be at least 2 bad acoustic guitars which you couldn't play above the G fret, above the 5th fret around. Then just try and play something. He wouldn't say anything. One day we were playing something and I said, "Hey man, what do you want me to play on this, this new song you've written?" He said, "I don't know, you're the guitar player, you figure it out." And that but I'll tell you something, even the lines that came to me at that time, I won't say I came up with them, whatever came to me at that time because of the situation, because of whatever, I still use them. And they're so strong that whoever plays those songs won't work without those lines. So to me, a solo wasn't a point at that time to flash your shit.
Yeah.
The solos I never play like that anymore. I never have. And Lou knows that also, which is what I like about him. He is tolerant enough for me to change my parts because I don't like playing the same thing in two gigs. It gets really boring for me.
Yeah.
You ask me to play the same thing in two gigs, fuck off. Except for the head, the riff, because that is the identity of the song, and you can't come up with, I doubt if you can come up with two great riffs for the same song. That riff works with that song fine. Now the middle part, I can fuck around with that anytime. Or the answers too, whenever you're playing answers or something. Now, when to play an answer, that is very important. Does every line need a bloody guitar line after that? No. Sometimes it could just be one note harmonic or just one bass note or something, just to take it to the next thing.
Answers or fillers.
So, fillers. So the thing, what are you doing as a guitar player over there? To me, learn the lyrics first. What is the song trying to say? Once you know the lyrics, you can forget them after that. Doesn't matter. Because I don't remember the lyrics to most of the songs, even my own. But the thing is, in the beginning, you pay attention to the lyrics so that you get to understand how you should approach the song. And then it tells you, and then the solo every time, it's depending on the situation, how it is, on that day. So it's always off the cuff. It's never like pre-planned bollocks, something like that. So then, but that's, and it always worked. I never got this thing from Majao or anything to say that, hey man, that thing you were doing, you were overdoing it, or you were this thing. Somehow, and it was probably because of the kind of music we had heard. Like there's no extra guitar work in a Beatles song. There's no extra unnecessary guitar work in a Rolling Stones song.
I think that
everything was part. So it's part of the music. So that's why the term guitar parts, not, it's part, musical part. It's a musical part.
And that's why I think that songs themselves kind of become more than the sum of their parts.
Exactly.
And you have to serve the song after a certain point.
Yeah.
After the base, the foundation has been built. You serve the song. You express the emotion.
Any of these guys. And when I heard Jeff Beck or Rory Gallagher or something, then later I realized, and later my other players that I really loved, since we're talking guitar, I'll stick to the guitar angle of things for now.
Yeah.
People like Pat Metheny, Mike Stern, who is also one of my top favorites, And then I used to think that, like I can take each line and frame it like a picture and put it up over there.
Yeah.
And they're so elegant and they're so beautiful. John McLaughlin, thing that it's like as if you can take each line and it's a beautiful picture and you can put it on your wall and look at it every day, listen to it every day. And I think I really want to get to that level of playing sometime in my life where each line is precious and beautiful.
In the Indian context, have you come across players who kind of come up to that benchmark somewhere?
That kind of playing?
Yeah.
Or maybe close, like people
There's one guy I used to really love. He passed away a few years ago and I'm very happy to say that towards the end we became great friends and we jammed a bit, and Derek Julian. I'm telling you, that's the only time I've dropped my guitar case. That was our first gig with Majao. We had homemade guitars at that time. Homemade means made by a friend of mine. I never had a proper guitar till I think 86, 87. Anyway.
But what did you play before that?
My friend had a guitar shop in Guwahati.
So there were luthiers making guitars?
Luthiers is a bit much of a term to use over here. It's like saying curating nowadays. People use curate for everything,
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, he is a guitar maker.
All right.
Yeah. As simple as that. Luthier he wasn't. No. But he understood electronics. He understood what we needed.
And
he became a very good friend of mine. And he indulged me immensely. So all the knowledge that I picked up in the library went into that. Of course, we didn't have the springs and all that, so I never had a whammy. So I was waiting for the day I'd get a whammy, which took another almost. I got my first Strat type guitar, which was 90, I think, 89 or 90. I still have it. So anyway, Derek Julian. So we had just finished playing, and the band playing after us was a band called Waterfront, who I'd never heard of. We had just gotten off stage. I remember I was walking across this thing, and Derek Julian started He was checking out his guitar. I just dropped my guitar. And there was this guy looking like some kind of elf or something, with this, he had premature gray hair, long white hair. I think his was also put together guitar because nobody had gear. You've got to understand the time there were no such thing as guitar amps. You played through a PA amp. What was then those mic-wala amps, I had a 25 watt Farishta amplifier. That was my amp. Going through two 8-inch speakers, and I used to put the chonga, what do you call them? Those horn units.
Yeah.
I used to put one behind that. If I wanted feedback, I'd just go behind the speaker. I'd get feedback off that. So that would give me the mids, the real sharp stuff would come out of there. So so I heard this guy, man. When he played to me, it was like his fretboard was like a printer, And by the time he ended up playing, there was a stack of sheets of music over there. That's the visual I always had of him. Then come years later, then Steve, by the time I'd already started playing with Steve Sequeira in Delhi. And we had a band called Don't Lose the One, which you referred to, that Friends of Music time and all that. Anyway, that was a tough bit of work for me at that time, Don't Lose the One. It was really very demanding, that band. The playing, not the personalities. The playing was very demanding on I don't think I really had the knowledge or talent to play in that band properly. But I did. So
you managed. It's all good.
Managed somehow, yeah. And then one day Steve comes to me and says, hey man, this Roger and Derek are here. We are thinking we'll do a jam. I still have that jam, I'll send it to you sometime. In my studio, the same one you're talking about. Yeah. So they came in and they started playing. I said, I better hit record. And boom. So Steve was playing drums, Roger and Derek in the control room with me. And they look at me, where's your guitar? So I plugged in and I jammed. I played this fucking Derek playing in front of you don't want to play. But years later, and then I managed to do I don't have it with me anymore. I sent it to the family. I did a tribute for him after he passed. Of course, technically I'm nowhere close to his kind of playing, but he was one guy I really loved. Then another guy called Maxi Peters.
Maxi Peters.
Oh, fuck, man. We played together a lot. I really loved his playing. After that, I've heard a lot of people I like. This Warren is good. Rudy, of course, is Rudy. I mean, there's so many guys. But then, whether I've come across anyone with a real signature approach and sound, no.
Not really.
I'm not interested in because I pick up 10 records, they all sound the bloody same.
Yeah.
Change a couple of notes, the solos will also be the same.
So back in the day when you were in the, the flow of things, was it difficult to sustain oneself as a musician?
Still is.
And how did you manage, like...
I have no idea. I was very fortunate, always. Like, say, when I was playing with Majao, we had the Great Society stuff, which was, we were one of the few bands, I think, writing our own material and playing them, and the audience is loving it at that time. So I've always come from a, let's say, background of writing your own stuff, which is why I don't do a gig playing any covers.
Right.
Even these gigs that I'm doing now with my computer, the left luggage and new bag gigs, it's just me and my stuff. I'm not interested in playing covers. And I'm not good at it either. It takes a lot of work to play a cover. Your own song, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I agree.
So at that time, my brother, because by the time he was well established as an architect in Dimapur, at that time we had friends from there and all that who were musically very educated as well. And one of them was the one who brought us a lot of new material, which, those cassette days, you had one guy in Chennai and one guy in Cal. You could he'd send you a list, a monthly list. I have this. Then you sent him the money by money order. And those cassettes would come and we'd all be around those cassettes as the holy relics have landed up,
Right.
So that's how you heard people
man.
like Frank Zappa and Chick Corea, Weather Report, all those bands that were happening at that time, that's how we heard all that stuff. And so then we had a band in Dimapur which played twice a year maybe. And we were trying to do stuff that was totally out of our depth. I mean, there was no way we could have played. We didn't know how it was done properly, first of all, but we tried, So we did stuff like Traffic and some Steely Dan, some Jeff Beck, some this and that, and a lot
Very
of
technical
and
bands.
a lot of blues, because I was always a blueser.
Blues person.
And that time I was a blues Nazi. If you didn't like blues, I didn't like you. Simple as that. But all that has gone over the years. I have become a bit more tolerant. But so this band gave me what I was looking for in terms of a different kind of growth. And whatever growth happened here, I could go back and apply in the Great Society. But the other side of Great Society, which I really liked, I think it was probably the only, that at that time, the bands which had a singer, frontman, would never have instrumentals, right?
They would have songs with lyrics.
Lyrics. Majao knew what to do with us, He came up with a couple of instrumentals and we still play them. 2-3 instrumentals, and then I'd come up with stuff. So it was very nice. All of us wrote in that band. And we'd sing our own songs. And it was nice. Then once Rudy came in, then when Rudy was singing his songs, we'd switch. I'd play bass, he'd play guitar. Yeah, we did that. It was very nice,
Right.
So then we became our own opening act, because Majao realized that, these guys need to get their, testosterone off. So he'd let us play some whatever jamming shit we wanted to do in the beginning. Then he'd walk in and the show would start. Everyone was happy, man.
Can you also tell us a little bit about that time when, Amit Sehgal's RSJ was happening and Great Indian Rock was happening and that phase of things?
That phase of things was like a second round of education for me, because I never realized there was so much amazing talent around.
And your experience with Delhi also.
Delhi was bloody fantastic, man. I mean, because I'll tell you what, in the days till about 10 years before that, not even, about 10 years before that, when we used to play in Delhi, we used to get fed up. Hey, cocaine! That's the only song everybody fucking seemed to know, Fuck off, And but then here, suddenly, you have these amazing guys coming with their own songs. Every Mother's Nightmare, Orange Street, you guys, then Usher and his group, Them Clones.
Them Clones.
No, Them Clones. No, Usher's band called.
Usher's band was called Envision.
Envision. And each had such a different direction.
Mm.
And each
Unique in their own ways.
unique. I mean, whatever it was, whoever they were following a certain, and they stuck to it. I love that band, all these bands, and probably because I was a good friend of Amit's, they ended up, hooking up in my studio, and not because I was a good engineer or any such thing, but and I
wouldn't agree
was
with that,
grateful. I was grateful for that because I got to hear a lot of things that I might not have heard. And I think it was a fabulous time for Delhi at the time. And then slowly, places like the Haze and all started off, which used to, at that time, pay 10 times what, say, a piano man pays nowadays. Nowadays, they've told you, every musician will get so much. I decide, you fucker, sit and play, otherwise don't play.
Yeah.
And I'm sad to say that the musicians take it.
Yeah,
You have to value your music.
You don't
man.
have much of a choice, though.
I know you have a choice, say no.
Yeah, but then we don't get gigs.
Yeah, you
It's
don't
really
get gigs,
tough.
you wait. Sooner or later, you will.
Or
If
you make
if
your own gigs.
You make your own gigs.
Ah.
I mean, if you want the easy way out, then don't complain after that. Don't say, hey, nobody wants to listen to my original. Naturally, you never played them. You never stuck up for them.
That's something that is, there's quite a a thing of contention, really, because especially with my band, we are also an original-driven band. We don't necessarily want to play covers. But the reality is now, with most of these venues and bars and stuff like that, if you want to draw a crowd, if you want to keep the crowd in the venue, you have to play
I'll tell you a funny
crowd
story,
pieces.
right? When HFT, I had that band HFT, I had no idea.
High fucking times.
Yeah, I saw you guys live when you were here in Okhla at one point of time.
So, it was very funny. The first time we played in Kolkata, SPE, and I'm not much of a, front man or any such shit like that. I mean, I don't talk much at all. Maybe announce one song or something like that. What my thing with HFT was that, dudes, I don't want any silence between track to track. We finish one track, one of you start off, do something on the thing, some sound, and we go into the next song. I don't want any silence. So anyway, after the gig was over, one of my friends, they passed on now. And so I'll keep it private. Then musicians, very good musicians from Kolkata. He said, what is it, man? I said, with what? He says, you don't talk to the audience. Most of the time your back is to the audience or your side is to the audience. I said, you don't talk. You don't play one familiar thing. And nobody left. And this is Kolkata.
That is impressive.
So
Then your music speaks for itself.
so I said, maybe it's the music.
Ah.
I wouldn't say it was that. I think they were just numbed by the noise or whatever. But the thing is, it's that. No, you have to stick up for your music. Otherwise, nobody else is going to stick up for you. Why will they? If you are willing to compromise, then the whole world is, chalo, theek hai, to ye bhi baja dega. Today you'll be playing this, then you end up with something called Bolly Jazz, which is bloody rubbish as far as I'm concerned.
There's a thing called Bolly Jazz?
Yeah.
There is a band called Bolly Jazz.
Oh my God.
Oh, no, I don't
Also,
mean the band. I don't know them.
The
But
genre.
the genre, the term, what is that rubbish? Yeah, I mean, come on.
That's a good thing I haven't heard about it. I'm glad. I've lived my life.
Right.
I mean, I remember when there used to be a certain thing called rock music, right? Suddenly rock started meaning what to me was hard rock or metal. If you weren't making a racket, then you weren't making a rock. But the thing is, what people tend to forget, like people think of me as some kind of jazz player nowadays. They introduce me as a... But I'm not. I can't play jazz to save my life, But I understand a certain few things about the genre, and the rock I've heard was very open. I mean, today, if a band like Traffic or King Crimson came out, they would be termed jazz. They would not be called rock.
Because they have a lot
Because
of these
over the years, the marketing
rules.
sods have put everything into such narrow wavelengths
Yeah.
just to make it easy on themselves to put you on a certain shelf.
Yeah.
And I have refused to be on any shelf. I don't like that. You should. You're a musician, man. What the fuck? This is the way you have to sound. This is the thing.
So you don't give yourself any genre
No, I don't.
classification.
I'll tell you what. I also write a lot of stuff, which is not a lot, a bit of orchestral stuff, right? So now when I do my gigs, I'll be playing the backing track to one of my orchestral pieces and play guitar with it. So I have a whole fucking orchestra backing me. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's a great piece of music, but I have fun. So the thing is, I think there might be one thing that you really like, but to narrow yourself down by saying, I am this, is like stopping yourself from things you could have done, probably. You know?
Absolutely. I think I agree with that, actually. And speaking of which, I think it's time for your next song. So you said you had mentioned earlier that each song is from a different phase in your life.
I thought it was, but it's not really. In the sense, the last one I did was called BNI, right? That's one of the last tunes I wrote while I was still while we still had HFT. Right now, HFT has been in ICU for the last 4 or 5 years we are dawdling here, dawdling there. We record something, then at that moment it sounds great. After 1 month, it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
You know the process. You guys have all been there, so.
Yeah.
But I think it all comes from a time of spending time together, because the original HFT that we had, we were very self-indulgent with practice sessions, because I had the studio at that time. So we used to rehearse in the studio. So at 3 o'clock, I'd shut the studio for outside work. From 3 to 8, it was
Just the band.
just the band. And we just get in and just play. Just play. New tune. Just play it again and again and again to see where it would go, where it could go. Somebody might come with a suggestion, usually not. We just take it somewhere. So when you play like that for 4 or 5 months, then a song
Good things start brewing.
Then a song starts living in you. When it starts living in you, then your consciousness can start speaking the song out.
That's how we wrote a lot of songs.
That is the only way to me. Otherwise, you'll be learning. You'll be learning shit. You'll be learning, say, the technical side of the song, but you'll never get into the song.
We would also do the same. Like, we had certain songs, and then we would perform them over a number of months, and the song would also evolve.
Yeah.
And once we realized that it was now kind of stable, then we'd record it.
The other thing I found is when something is introduced to you, like say you have to go and play bass on a song, or you have to play a guitar thing on a song, just always hit record before you try it out. Because usually the first idea is actually the correct one. I've found that out over years, and I've regretted it so many times. And the thing is, you will never get it again. It never comes back. Quite like that.
And if you can't do it for about 3 times, you said something like that as well.
Don't try it. Do it on another day. Leave it. Go do something else in the car.
If you can't get it down in 3 takes, do it another day.
Do it another day. Don't keep on rubbing that raw wound. You know? Leave it. Do something else. Play something that you're familiar with. And then maybe come back to it as the last thing as you do before you go. And musical ideas for me always comes out best when you don't have an instrument in hand. Go for a walk. Take a drive.
Absolutely.
But now we are lucky, we all have cell phones. Suddenly you get an idea. You can
My best ideas for whatever happens while I'm taking a piss.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just happens. But anyway.
I'll pray to the god of urination for you, man.
Thank you so thank you.
May they be long and heavy.
So let's go in for the song now?
Yeah, B&I, right?
No, that's the last one. The second one was what? Conversations, I think.
Conversations.
I don't know. He'll have to tell me.
Don't worry about the thing. Whatever we want to play, we shall.
No, Conversations. The thing is, I've always been a blues lover, I said, but somewhere along the way, I wrote a lot of blues things, let's say. I won't even call them songs or tunes or something, which were on one chord, right? In the sense that, because when I listened to a John Lee Hooker or somebody like that from that time, you really didn't need that 1-4-5 or 1-4 or whatever those, you didn't need those 3 chord or 4 chord. Or, you can put a million chords into it if you want, but it was always more interesting to me to see what would happen if you had just one thing and how many ideas could you superimpose over that. Of course, my take on that was quite really not the best, but it'll give you an idea of what it is. So it's called Conversations because a lot of conversations like this one also becomes a monologue. So that's what it is. It's actually that. It's just, and it's my idea of a lot of people dispute it, but to me it's a blues.
So let's go in for that conversation and we shall be right back into the conversation again.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, welcome back. We hope you like that song. It was called Conversations. And if you like these conversations that we have at Talktopia Sessions, please hit the like button, subscribe, share the podcast, and tell everybody about this place where we discover new artists and their music ever so often.
And not just new artists, but people who have been veterans of the art and who have been playing for many years and who we'd like to learn from, like AJ here.
Yes. He's new to them, though.
He might be new to you. You might know him for many years after all. I mean, we don't know who's watching.
Yes.
But if you do know his music, put a comment down below and let us know.
Talking about new music, sir, where can people discover your music? Because
most of the stuff is on Spotify.
most of it is on Spotify. Fantastic.
I mean, whatever I put out is on Spotify.
Well, I don't like Spotify.
Well,
Apple Music? I'm just being
Apple
picky.
Music too.
Apple Music too.
Yeah, Apple
so if
Music
you-
has it.
You know.
So this
Because
is
I
for-
put it out through TuneCo.
Okay.
So TuneCo sends it to
everywhere. pretty
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Nice.
So they just search for AJ or do they
No,
search for
Arjun
Arjun Sen?
Arjun Sen.
And which all albums are there online?
See, there's an album which is erroneously online because years ago I had a friend of mine managing my stuff, right? That time I made an album called Near East.
Near East.
Yeah.
All right.
And that was made after the what happened in Iraq.
Mhm.
Because I felt really sad. I said, man, this is one of the oldest civilizations. Mesopotamia, blah, blah, blah. For them to be treated this way is really, whatever, right, wrong, politics is really not my game. But it affected me very badly. And that time I was listening to a lot of Middle Eastern music as well. You know, what we like to call, I don't know why we call it Middle East, because it's
Yeah.
actually more
that is
far
really
west
weird.
than Middle East.
Yeah. It's a very weird term.
If you use Middle East, it's somewhere between the South China Sea and Bangladesh.
Yeah.
If you really look at it literally.
Coming up next, AJ's next album is going to be called Geography.
Maybe. So that was a collection of, you see, the thing, I've always liked folk music as well.
Mhm.
And I wanted to write, what attracted me to a lot of the older Middle Eastern stuff or even our folk music,
Mhm.
the traditional stuff, is that you can't write stuff like that today. Because they're a part of something very special that existed then. I mean, you can try and write a tune which sounds a bit
Influenced by.
not even influenced by necessarily, but to come up with a tune which has that quality is, I don't know what it is I'm trying to get at over here. I know I'm not being very clear, but they were all, again, like I was talking about, pictures like those frames of, it's like something that is so solid in itself.
Encapsulate the essence or spirit.
I thought, let me try and write an old tune, a tune that sounds like it was written. So that's when I wrote that bunch of tracks for, of course, I managed to only write one tune which even comes close to that idea of that, which is called Near East. And so that album came out. And that came out as a CD. Then one of my friends said he had contacted some company and they would put it out. So I said, all right. I'm not sure whether they gave me any money. I don't think so. They were supposed to have it for 2 years or something. And I'd get it back or something. I've forgotten the whole exact thing. Then that company died. It disappeared. It doesn't exist anymore, whatever that company was. Then my friend died, who had dealt with that company. Though till the end, he tried to get the album rights back.
Oh dear.
But it's there, Arjun Sen's Near East.
It's online.
It's online, but the songs are all wrongly named, this, that, whatnot.
Oh no.
So you'll understand what I was trying to get at if you listen to that. So that's my folk stuff over there.
Mhm.
Then I do some meditation kind of stuff also, like light stuff, which is there on Apple Music and Spotify and all that. Those are called Spaces. I think Spaces 1, Spaces 2 is out.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I really indulge myself in everything I've heard. Anything I've heard that I like, I want to do. It's as simple as that.
Interesting. So you just really let your creativity take you
No,
wherever.
my creativity, whatever flows through, because that's all you are. You're just a channel for ideas, man. I mean, the very fact that we take credit for actually writing a tune, who actually sits and writes a tune, man? You sit down, some idea comes, you put that down. Fucking made it. Anyway, that's another world.
So I think good time to go into another song, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The next one is Tiptoe. When we first moved to where we are now, Andretta, there used to be that bird that used to sing every morning.
Aha.
So I was trying to get that bird call on.
Oh yeah, I
So,
noticed that. I
yeah.
noticed in the beginning. You know,
Yeah,
actually
and then the
bird
actual
call.
melody is a bit more like the bird call. After the initial melody that comes, which is very busy, because by the time the forest is waking up and all that in my mind, you won't hear it, of course, like that. And then the main thing comes, so that's
You
These
know,
days, of course, the bird calling happens on apps like Hinge.
uh,
But
that's where all the chicks are.
what would I know? I'm just a villager. So yeah.
No, but that is an example of like something that I learned when I was doing my degree in writing.
bird calling?
That too. You know what I mean. Anyway, so but the thing is, our tutors always said that you have to. It's like throwing a net out as you wander through life.
Yeah.
And whatever the ideas will come to you and get stuck there and will become creative ideas.
Yeah, they will.
And I think a lot of us these days,
And some
get
of them
so
are
distracted.
germinating in all our minds even now. One day they're just going to pop out. They might
Exactly.
pop up as a writing, as a painting, as a piece
Yeah,
of
and but one has
noise.
to be always receptive to one's own mind, because otherwise, if you let yourself get too distracted, you tend to lose all those ideas. And like, for example, during the lockdowns, we could have definitely written one of those songs because there was this one damn bird which was sitting outside our window making the same damn noise every single day and was driving me up the wall. Now, I could have made a song out of that, but it didn't occur to me. We were thinking of too many other things. And I think that is a very valuable thing for any creative person to kind of keep that net open as you wander through life and just catch whatever.
See, the only limitation in your music is yourself. There's no limitation in music.
True.
You limit yourself.
Absolutely.
It's
Very
up to you. It's not a question of knowing a lot of music or a lot of technical stuff about music. It is within the same. Even with 3 notes, you can come up with God knows how many different combinations of that. I mean, if you're a mathematician, you could tell me, but I'm guessing you're not.
No. Not even close.
So, this also reminds me of like my childhood when we used to go to church. My mom used to be like, go quickly to the toilet and come. I was like, Mom, nothing is coming. She was like, go and sit for 10 minutes, something will come.
Something will come. It's a bit like that.
Something will come. So, try to write a song, something will come.
Saibar had a great line. You know Saibar?
Yeah.
Good friend, fabulous guitar player.
We have to have him on the show, by the way.
All right.
So one day he told me, hey, AJ, always keep a pen and some toilet paper with you. I said, why? He says, you don't know, ideas and shit can come anytime. He's really right.
Sahi baat.
Oh, what a
And
fabulous
now
player.
we tiptoe onto the next song. Tiptoe.
Yeah, so this last one in your thing is called B and I.
Mm-hmm.
My partner's name is Bianca. My daughter's name is Iris. And one day I was fiddling around in Goa at night with my computer and all that, recording something. Saw them sleeping, and this tune came to me.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
that's how it's called B and I.
Oh, that's
And,
why. That's wonderful. I think that's a lovely note to end on. I think
Yeah.
you've found a happy home in the hills.
Very, very happy. Very fortunate. Very
filled
lucky.
with music and love.
music, yeah.
I have one last question.
Yeah, one last question.
One last question. So, you had a little bit of a health episode as well. I just wanted to know, how did it affect you in your music? And did it have something to do with you leaving Delhi and moving to the hills?
No. That health thing happened about 10 years, 15 years after, 10, 12 years after I moved out of Delhi. But Delhi, I didn't see any reason
To remain here.
And with the kind of lifestyle choices I was going to make, I had already made, I wouldn't be able to sustain living here anymore. I wouldn't be able to pay rent.
What were those choices like?
Choices, I didn't want to work with these advertising lot. I didn't want to do that. I won't say that I didn't want to be commercial or something like that. But it annoyed me that, constantly you had people who didn't know jack shit telling you what you should be doing.
Like how it usually is in the
Yeah, because everybody is
advertising or the
so
commercial.
unnecessarily aggressive.
Yes.
Whereas if they just calm down and listen to you once in a while, they have better products online.
Yeah.
Because you're the bloody person who knows a bit something about this thing. So no, we've decided. I'll tell you what I used to do. Advertising people will get really pissed off when they hear this. When I realized somewhere along there, I said I have to fucking sort this shit out. Then I used to put the same 3 cuts. 3 cuts, okay? Same cut, exact same cut on a CD. Give to them. Then there'd be that big meeting, and big boss man would come. So, guys, you heard the 3. AJ has given us 3 tracks. Let's check them out. Okay, play 1, play 2, play 3, play 1, play 2, play 3. They choose the second one.
This is so embarrassing.
Another of my friends who is now really big in Bollywood, years later he told me, years before that he told me, do one thing. You started doing advertising work. I've been working with these guys for a long time. Most of them, it's not their fault, because they're young and all that, in the sense that each of them are trying to think what their boss will like. Yeah. Boss is trying to think what the client will like.
Nobody actually knows what.
Nobody knows anything. Instead, leave it to us, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the client will then play it to his 10-year-old kid. 10-year-old kid says, "Papa, मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लगा ये वाला. मेरे बच्चे को अच्छा नहीं लगा भाई ये फिर से बजा." And
literally, that's how literally they make
this is literally how it happens, man. And then anyway, so he said, leave an obvious mistake.
And see if they pick it.
No, they will pick it. Make it so obvious that even they can't miss it. No?
So then they'll feel like they corrected it.
They corrected it, their egos are happy. He'll go and tell boss, he had made this mistake, I fixed it. So he'll get brownie points from there. Boss will get brownie points from there. Everybody is happy. Their raises are fixed. They don't get a
Next
pink.
time we are pitching for a VO, we do this.
No pink letter Monday. All that bollocks happens. And your track is through. But he didn't realize one thing, that they like the mistake. Then what happens? Then you're fucked. Which is what happened with. I remember we were recording in Saraswati studio. Yeah, years ago. When you were that time all live recording, huh? So those Yamaha keyboards used to have that really annoying metronome. Tick tock 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 tick tock
Yes.
tock. So everyone was playing together, so you needed the metronome, no?
Yeah.
So the client came and Gana suna dijiye inko. Gana sun le. So tick tock 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 tick. Then the song starts. Then we played. Then the client came back. He said, "Bada acha laga," and all that. So he was very happy. Then he went off. On my project, I was one of the session guys at that time. So then he came back. Oh, intro कहाँ डाल दिया आपने? Say intro? Yeah, no, कौन सा intro? No, what the fuck is he talking about? Everything is the same. Oh, जो pick, pick. वो बड़ा अच्छा लगा. He liked that, man.
बहुत बढ़िया था sir वो tick tick.
So Then one had to explain that. But that's another thing.
Like, नहीं, मुझे चाहिए.
चाहिए तो चाहिए.
Anyway, AJ, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a
Pleasure,
lovely
man.
conversation.
Pleasure.
And of course, the outro is going to be B and I, which is your life right now, which is fantastic.
Thanks.
And it has been great to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been so long that I've been wanting to meet you. And I'm so glad.
Yeah, it's been a moment, no?
Indeed, it has.
And thank you so much for recording me back then. I mean, that laid the foundation for
Did I
all
have a
things
choice?
to follow. And I'm still following your advice and your
Don't
philosophy.
follow my advice, man. Follow your heart.
And please keep giving us as much music as possible.
Sure,
Because
surely.
we need music from you.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to more.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And everybody, thank you so much for joining us for this session of the Talktopia Sessions with Arjun Sen. It has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to support us, please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and
Follow us on Instagram as well.
follow us on Instagram.
And if you have any suggestions on who are the other artists that you'd like us to interview in case they're coming to Delhi, write it in the comments below.
Yeah, put it in the comments below, and we will see you next time. Until then,
Bye-bye.
and keep rocking hard.
Yeah.